So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much love would you say is in your relationships? Hey guys, welcome back. It is week 3 in the month of love, also known as March. And we are talking about love as a character trait. It's not an emotion, it's not an atmosphere, it's not an activity. Love is a choice and love is a character trait. Now certainly loving relationships have those other components in them, but they are not love in and of themselves. So what we are talking about this week is the way that we engage with other people. And certainly there have been thousands of volumes of books written on this topic, and it's not something that I can cover in a short 9-minute video. But I want to show you a couple of the books that I have on my shelf, and if I were to remove this whiteboard behind me, this whole middle section is filled with leadership books and books on relationship. Some of my favorites are Emotional Intelligence. This is a good one. I've read this one 4 times. How People Grow by Cloud and Townsend. John Gottman is a famous researcher on relationships. So this one is The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. Boundaries by Henry Cloud and John Townsend is a classic. And How We Love, I've read this one several times as well, by Milan and Kay Yurkovich. So if you're in a relationship and you're wondering, why is my relationship not working and what can I do to fix it? Every single one of those books will be a huge eye-opener. I highly recommend all of them. One of my all-time favorites, which is what I'm going to talk about in a little bit of detail here, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. So if you're wondering how to get people to do things or how to change your relationship or change the dynamic of the group that you're in, I highly recommend this book. So we're going to talk about this one and what all of these books have in common, because I can't obviously cover, an entire relationship in 9 minutes, but what all of these books have in common is what I'm going to talk about today through Patrick Lencioni's book. And that is the idea that we ourselves have to work on ourselves and be healthy in order to be in a healthy relationship. It's not about the other person. So when we're healthy, we can identify the red flags in other people and stay away from people, protect ourselves from people who are unhealthy, but we don't have to engage with them, right? So let's look at our definitions before we move forward. So if you missed the definitions on love in week 1, go back and take a look at those. I also gave the definition of 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8, which we will talk about in a minute. So a relationship is basically the way 2 or more people behave towards one another. Now that is not a full enough definition for my liking, so I'm also giving you the definition for team, which is 2 or more people working together towards a common goal. So I like to merge those 2 definitions together, and it gives us a better way forward. So 2 or more people behaving in one another as they work towards a common goal. And that common goal is so important, because no matter what relationship it is, whether it's marriage or a neighbor or a family or a coworker, it doesn't matter. Every relationship, when it has a common goal, that helps you to get onto the right track. And when you're working together as a team, then it's much easier to work together as opposed to one person wanting their way and another person wanting their way, and why isn't this working? So Lencioni suggests in his book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, he has this triangle, he has this pyramid. This is the way that it appears in the book, and he says the absence of, fear of, lack of, avoidance of. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the negative or double negative, so I transpose it into the positive. So he suggests that every relationship on the planet, doesn't matter what kind of a relationship it is, it all starts with trust. The foundation is trust. And if we don't trust, if we don't have that crucial part of the foundation, then the rest of this is not possible. And our team is not going to work. Our friendships, our marriages, co-worker, it's just not going to work. So when we have trust, meaning that I'm for you, I get it that I'm for you, I get it that you're for me, I get it that you don't think I'm an idiot, I trust that if I say make a mistake, you're not going to shame me for it. That we're going to be able to work through it in a way that is growth producing and not shaming. That's all trust. You know, when you're sitting in a group of circle of people and one person walks away, you don't start talking about the other person as soon as they walk away. That's not trust, because it tells the other people, you know, those who gossip to you will also gossip about you. So when you have this sense of trust, then you can move forward to these other levels. Then you can have healthy conflict. And we have to have healthy conflict in a relationship. It has to be there, because when you think about in a work environment, creativity and innovation comes from healthy conflict. When you're sitting around a boardroom with 10 people and they all have 10 different ideas, it isn't about whose idea gets to win. It's about, let's put all the ideas on the table and let's toss and turn. Let's battle it out and have this healthy conflict in a trustworthy way so that we can move forward towards this common goal and we can get something done. If you're in a marriage, what color are you going to paint the walls? Where are you going to send your kid to school? What are you going to have for dinner? Everybody has different ideas. And some of those situations in life, you know, they get more and more serious as the years go on. And if we're not able to engage in healthy conflict, right, which, you know, some people take it as, you know, they get their feelings hurt, or they don't feel like they're being heard, or it's just, you know, my way or the highway, or you're not listening to me. That's because there's an absence of trust, and they have an empty cup. This person is just like running on empty, right? And they're codependent and people pleasing and bitter, and they don't have healthy boundaries, angry, fearful, anxious, you know, all this stuff, defensive, controlling, perfectionistic. Everything just has to be a certain way, or they just get all bent out of shape. When this is going on, when people are running on empty, there's an absence of trust. They are not trustworthy, and they can't trust other people, and they certainly can't have healthy conflict. And when there's not healthy conflict, then there's no commitment. And when there's no commitment, there's no accountability. And when there's no accountability, there's no results. You don't reach your goal, and you're just constantly fighting and battling, and there's drama and chaos, and you know, you're talking on the phone to your friend, he did this, she did that, you know, blah, blah, blah. So the bottom line is that in relationships, if we, and I apologize, the light is shining on this one, but this is a full cup. This person is full up, and they're strong and they're healthy. They're vulnerable and transparent. They're able to ask for and receive help. They take responsibility for themselves. They don't blame the other person. They're grateful, forgiving, humble, healthy boundaries. They're able to take feedback. They're always asking, what can I learn from this? That's a stable person, and that's somebody who's filled up. And so when you're in a relationship, if both of your cups are empty, good luck. This is not good. So the goal is for both of our cups to be full in the relationship. And if your cup is not full, go back and look at some of these books that I mentioned. It will help you. I promise. These are phenomenal leadership books and phenomenal relationship books. You can also pick up my book, The Journal Right with Grace, which is what this video series is based on. And you can get that on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And I also have this book, which is has all of these character traits in here. No arms, no legs, no problem. It's a great memoir. Also on Amazon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, what kind of relationship problems are you having? If you're brave enough to ask, or just put in your 2 cents. I always love to hear from you guys. So take care, and I will see you next week.